All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Monday afternoon. God bless everybody in the name of Yeshua, Jesus, the Messiah. I pray you and your family are super blessed. I hope everyone had an amazing weekend as Bitcoin continues to take a tumble, today, as the Bitcoin price could not even this morning take the highs at 96.8. We just took that little pre-New York Open high. Shout out to everybody in the chat and blessings to everybody in the chat in the name of Yeshua, Jesus. Guys, make sure to smash up the like because as usual, if we can get 1,000 likes within the first half hour, we will be giving away 1,000 USDT. Alright, major shout out to Getchy M9Q. Major shout out to Crypto Coons in the chat. Holding it down with the wrench. Major shout out to Jason Casper, who says smosh the likes. Gotta give a major shout out to Investment Time and a major shout out to Dave Digital in the chat for like number 36. Shout out to Jeffrey. He says, then we'll hear that cat meow because it's a scared and jump a little higher. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a dead cat bounce. Bitcoin forgot to look at its macro vitamin B levels. Didn't realize it had a very dry scalp and forgot how powerful Head and Shoulders are. I like it, man. As a 30-year-old white guy who has kids, I do appreciate dad jokes such as this. Alright? Shout out to my man, Jeffrey Peria. Major shout out to Sean. I'm not Sean. Shao. V5B. Man, YouTube has made it so hard to read names here. If crypto went the way of the dodo, what would people like Jason do? Well, I'll tell you exactly what I would do. I would be a full-time homesteader. And I would be a full-time homesteader and I would just invest in stocks that pay dividends. And like have a dividend stock portfolio to earn passive income. And I would live a very frugal, meager, simple life. That's what I would do. Shout out to Felix H. He says I'm bearish on my trading execution. Shout out to Samuel S44. Shout out to Philip Collin. I put a little tequila in the water to make the chicken meat more tasty. Maybe I put a little, you know what, I never thought about this, but thinking about frozen water makes me think, should I put a little tequila in the chicken water to keep the chickens water from freezing in the winter? Let me know if that's a good idea. Shout out to HFG in the house. Shout out to George. George's lawyer says we're feeling 91. Rimo5150, he says, I answer polls, but I have no idea. Well, I make the polls, but I have no idea. You know, shout out to Flash425. Shout out to 3QualX, Wick to 8889, and then pump, baby. Maybe we're going to be talking about the potentiality this last weekly close. All right, we've had a very significant close. Shout out to Cherry City Bullies. May the Lord bless you, my brother. I'm assuming you're a brother, unless you're a sister. Shout out to Eddie. God bless you, Eddie. So glad to see you here, my man. Shout out to Hopium Copium. I saw Jay got wrecked live a couple of times. You hear that screech sound like yesterday. Shout out to Clifton Solis. He says, on time, baby. We're going to talk about Ethereum. Jay doesn't get wrecked by the market gets wrecked by Jay. If only that was the case. Shout out to Freedom Man. 5178. Shout out to Shirley Sound. Sup, Casper crew. Let's get paid today, baby. Let's get paid every day. Every day is payday. You can tell a lot of people left the market. That's for sure. Is there an egg code for today? Yes! There is an egg code for today, guys. If you're looking for eggs. The code is carrot. Alright, carrot. If you're looking for eggs in the Discord, the code is carrot. As the Bitcoin price is taking a tumble around $93,000, a very, very key zone of support. Shout out to Cool Marge, 8,000. Shout out to Poppin, 1994. In the house, baby. Shout out to care mum. So. Well. Major shout out to SLL453. You shorted 100.6. Ballsy. This actual short was a short taken in the Casper Crew VIP Discord from 106,000, but I've added to it. All right, I took the short right around here. We took the long in the Casper Crew from right here. Setup was given in real time. Then the short setup was given in real time from $106,000. And I've just been adding to the short along the way because I had a small position size on this one. Simply because, well, by the time I got into the short, after I hit the take profit on my long, by the time I got into the short, I had a pretty bad entry on that one. It was about a 1.3-ish% stop loss, which means I had to use a very small position size on the trade to use my good risk management, which means, yeah, it's a smaller trade. You can see I've only got 23,000 on the position right now, so that's why. But yeah, shout out to the Casper Crew, JasonCasperTrading.com. Also shout out to KCEX. What you're gonna do next? I had to take another long. I did take a long. You can see locked in a little profit. All right, this is the only long I've taken since yesterday's long, which you guys saw me take and get stopped out in a little bit of profit, a couple $100. All right, so this one's going to get stopped out for the same, probably about a $400 profit if we make another low. All right. KCEX, the lowest deal on fees, period, 0% limit order, 0.01% market order. Also got some trading on WEEX and BLOFIN. Make sure if you like low fees and super awesome things and you know how to trade, you sign up using the links. And if you know how to trade, but you don't have money, check out Klein funding, 25% discounts in the description. You can get an instantly funded account without passing a test. 15% discount. You can trade with a $50,000 account today for only about $1,000 if you use the code in the description of the video. Now, Bitcoin is grinding down to support. And here's the thing, guys. Today, once again, more than yesterday, the market is in extreme fear. Yesterday, we saw extreme fear 18. This is only 2 points higher than the lowest, which was March 10th, 2025, where we saw extreme fear at 15. Now, here's the thing that we need to keep in mind. If I move my fat, ugly, moving, walking face away from here, we can see that when extreme fear enters into the market, that's typically where we get a pump, baby. All right, that's where we get a pump, baby. So here's the thing. The thumbnail of the video is Bitcoin at a crossroads and an hourglass, because time is running out, in fact, for this bull market. But are we going to just go straight down from here, or are we going to see some relief very soon? Keep in mind, it is a bullish signal. It is a bullish indicator when there is extreme fear in the market. I want just honestly to objectively, let's go to the daily time frame here. Let's take a look at what's happened here, okay? Whenever, not whenever, but most of the time, guys, when Bitcoin dumps and she just chills out for a few days and things feel very bearish, we get relief, right? When Bitcoin dumps and chills out for a few days, things are bearish, we get relief. When Bitcoin chills out for a few days and things are bearish, we get some relief. It happened last week. Was it a lot of relief last week? No. But I want to point out a few things. Number one, right, very key support right now. And number two, we are in extreme fear. So as a trader, for me, I am mostly looking for long opportunities. And in the event of a big pump or a relief, I will be looking to short a rise in these market conditions. Crypto markets today, Bitcoin, Ethereum, sync to multi-month. Multi-month. Is this a word invented by AI when they wrote this article? When AI wrote the article? Today, Bitcoin, Ether sync to multi-month lows as liquidity dries up. And here you can see a real picture of your typical day trader with his head down in utter agony as his coffee's gone and he's just depressed. He just can't even believe what he's seeing on the charts. Red candles? When I got into crypto, they told me there were only going to be green candles. Here's what they didn't tell him. You have to go into settings and make sure that you change the red candles to green. All right, you can change the color. This guy doesn't understand that. That's okay. That's okay. So bottom line, guys, we have seen Bitcoin drop to around $93,000. ETH fell to about $3,000. These are multi-month lows. Large potential liquidation zone exists for Bitcoin right around just below this last low. So about $62 million will be liquidated if we come down just a little bit lower, below 92.8, like we take out the weekend low, and there's about $62 million worth of liquidation risk just below where we're at right now. All right. Very interesting to think that as we're coming to support, and as the fear and greed index is at close to the yearly low, we know there's liquidity just below us, okay? As we're at key support, very interesting times, all right? Not only this, but the broader crypto market is seeing reduced liquidity. We are seeing money coming out of the market, period. Open interest is drying up. Option skew is bearish. So we're seeing money leave the market. People are expecting lower prices. Market sentiment is sharply deteriorating, as can be seen by the fear and greed index. Now, what does this actually mean for traders? Well, it means this, guys. If we see Bitcoin starting to actually lose the $93,000, this golden pocket zone, this value area low of the last year, we could expect a much sharper drop. And I have here marked on the chart the key levels that we need to be aware of. Notice this. This is the volume profile pulled from last year, November 16th, 2024. The fair value zone, we are coming to the low of the fair value zone, which means, historically speaking, below this level is undervalued Bitcoin. Now, if this level isn't going to hold, notice what we see over here. This is called a fair value gap. This is called a volume gap, really. We have no volume here. We have no support here. We have nothing here. We have one giant daily candle that will easily, if we lose this support, we will easily drop through to the $89,000 support resistance flip. Notice that this $89,000 comes, we have our key support. We know we have millions of dollars of liquidations below this level. If those people get liquidated and we don't see a fast buyback and a fast reaction, we could easily see a big capitulation wick, a cascading of stop losses mixed with this giant old gap that needs to be filled here, and come back down to the support resistance flip around $89,000 from our January 13th low and our March 2025 high. All right. So if this doesn't hold here, guys, we could easily see a fast move down. I'm talking October 10th style. You guys remember October 10th style drop? We could easily see an October 10th style wick coming on down to $88,000. Of course, below that, we do have some support around the 786, around the $85,000 zone. And then below that, we also do have a nice weekly order block at $78,000. However, this is something that's quite important. On the weekly time frame, we have officially, with this weekly candle close, changed into bearish market structure for, I would say, the first time. The first time in this uptrend, we have seen bearish market confirmation. What do I mean by that? Well, we have ourselves our low, our high, our higher low, our higher high, our higher low, our higher high, our higher low. This was considered one range, I would say. Our higher high, our higher low, 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 our higher high. Whoa, what's happening here? We're taking out one of those higher lows in the uptrend. And as the uptrend made this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, every time we tried to do it, we're getting weaker and weaker and weaker with the bearish divergence forming more and more and more. And now we're changing market structure on the weekly. Now, no need to be concerned yet. I would be more concerned of a change of structure on the monthly. which we still have time before that happens, right? We would really need to close the monthly candle below $78,000 before we change structure on the monthly. But this is definitely not the best thing to be seen, making a weekly candle close below $100,945.10. This is our last weekly candle close, high or low, in the uptrend, right? Not the best look in the world. Now, we do have some good news here. Bitmine Immersion acquires 173 million in Ethereum, as our man Tom Lee suggests a reason behind crypto weakness. So if you don't know who Tom Lee is, he's the co-founder and CIO of Bitmine. He's the chairman of the company. And basically, this is a digital asset treasury firm focused on ETH. They've acquired over 54,000 ETH last week, and they now hold about 3.6 million ETH, 3% of the total market supply of Ethereum. They also increased cash reserves to 607 million. So they basically just doubled it. Now, Tom Lee, the firm's chairman, he argues that the current crypto price weakness is largely due to reduced liquidity, specifically wounded market makers who are scaling back operations after the October 10th crash, resulting in this kind of crypto market tightening. Now, this is very interesting because this is a heavy hitter in the industry, guys. All right, this is a heavy hitter in the industry. But he says essentially that he does not think the top is in. He believes that the crypto cycle has not yet peaked. And he thinks that structural drivers such as asset tokenization, including stocks, bonds, and real estate being put on the blockchain, could give us a top in 2026 or later. Now, why am I saying this? Well, the reason I'm even bringing this up is because we looked at another article recently where we saw Plan B, the famous guy on Twitter and on YouTube, who has been pretty good at predicting tops, although, you know, he was famous for being off a little bit last cycle, but he had the timing correct. All right, November 2021, he called the top. The reason why I bring this up is because we understand, as people who are in this space, that the 4-year cycle is officially different than it was last time, in a sense that there's two things that we could look at here. Actually, let me go ahead and put this in a folder so we can bring this back on the chart easily. There's two things that we could look at here to say this time is not like last time. This time is different. Now, I know, famous last words. This time is different. All right, but hear me out. Never in the history of Bitcoin have we seen an all-time high pre-halving, which we did see in March 2024. All right, the halving happened in April 2024. We saw the all-time high pre-halving. Also, never in the history of the Bitcoin cycle have we seen such a shallow pullback pre-halving from the Fibonacci golden zone. Right? Instead of our typical 45 to 50% correction from the Fibonacci golden pocket to backtest the bear bull market support flip, like we were expecting something like this to happen, and then we were expecting that all-time high to come up. Whoa, Bitcoin's dumping, guys. Let's take a quick look. All right, Bitcoin's making another lower low. We interrupt this news to bring you more breaking news. Bitcoin is making another lower low, entering into the territory of liquidating. $65 million right now, about to be liquidated. $65 million right now, guys, about to be liquidated. Let's see, do we liquidate and get a little bit of a reaction here? Are we going to reclaim the level? Are we going to see an actual bullish reaction here as we're coming down to the very important 0.65 Fibonacci level? Is this giant box of support going to hold right here, guys, or are we in for a massive drop to 88,000? We are about to find out live on the Jason Casper YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. We're going to set another alert if we come down to the RVAL here, okay? So that would probably mean that, indeed, we are stopped out of the long trade for a $300 profit. All right, so the two long trades I've taken here, cautious, but we've managed to get out at essentially a break even there. I'd consider a break even. Okay, we are losing the level. Let's see. We want to set an alert here in case we reclaim the level as well, guys. All right, we want to be careful. We want to be waiting. We want to be watching. Let's check out quickly market cipher B on the low time frame. We do have some bullish divergence here. Check out our 4 hour. We do have some slight bullish divergence. If we can get a reclaim, the 1 hour actually does look a little bit bullish. Let's check out the order flow quickly. All right, and then we'll get back into what we were discussing there. But we need to be in the moment. All right, in the moment. In the moment. We're in the mood by Glenn Miller. All right, Little Brown Jug by Glenn Miller. Benny Goodman. All right. Come on, market monkey. There's no time for this concupiscence, okay? Currently hanging in all the shorts. Right now, we're currently up right now 12,000 US dollars plus another. We're up like 14K in unrealized profits. Both of these trades given in real time in the Casper Crew VIP Discord at JasonCasperTrading.com. My goodness. Now, coming back to the Bitcoin chart, we recognize this time could be different. Good old Tom Lee suggesting that we have a longer bull market, that the top is not in yet, and we see a top in 2026 or later. We understand there's a good case to be made that the 4-year cycle is broken because we hit an all-time high before the halving, because the bear market pullback gave us much less of a pullback this time, because we are seeing such large amounts of institutional money, such as Tom Lee. I mean, think about this. The market is bearish. Some of the biggest people in the industry are accumulating. We just saw yesterday that like massive amounts of funds and investors, big money, is accumulating Bitcoin even at these prices. And we're seeing big players accumulating Ethereum at these prices. And so what does that mean? Well, it means we might see less of a pullback this time. We might just see Bitcoin's pullback not come down 70% this time, maybe just come down 45-50% to the bottom of the local range. And then we continue to trade something like this, more consistent gains. All right, so I do think it's interesting to see what are some of the big players in the industry doing. What is big money doing? Right now, big money does not seem scared to buy the dip. Now, remember, we're not big money, okay? Big money, they buy the dip, they don't care. All right, they put a, you know, how much money did they put? 173 million. That's such an incomprehensible amount of money for most people. If this goes down 25% or whatever, they don't care. They don't care. They're in here for the long game, for the big game, right? They're looking 5-10 years down the road with this number, right? They don't care about tomorrow. So you have to remember that big money doesn't care about short-term volatility, but you also have to remember big money, especially people in the industry, I mean, they're not stupid, right? They're not stupid. So it's not a stupid place, I would say. I mean, this guy, I don't think this guy's stupid to be buying Ethereum, all right? Something else to be very aware of currently right now is the XRP ETF. We remember a few days ago, we talked about the XRP ETF and how it was historic in its launch. It basically did triple in the first half hour than they were expecting it to do on the whole day. So this is the XRPC, the ETF for XRP, which recently launched, creating excitement because of how much volume traded in that ETF within the first half hour. The problem is now, large money investors are reportedly getting out of their positions, showing a divergence now between the retail narrative and the institutional flow. So the retail is bullish because of the ETF and because of the historic launch day, but big money's coming out, all right? So this article right here, and of course, I'm just going based on the article, but essentially they're saying the big money is actually being very cautious when it comes to this XRP ETF, and big money is reducing their exposure to this ETF, which is not bullish for XRP. And in the context of a macro bearish environment with crypto, I'd say that's not really the best thing to see. All right. So in general, fundamentally, I'd say we've got a lot of bearish news here. Technically speaking, I would say we also have quite a bit of bearishness. Again, coming back to the Bitcoin chart on the weekly time frame, we have in fact just changed market structure on the weekly. Now, I think it's really important for us to understand that the range we're currently trading now is this, okay? We have our clearly defined low at 74,000. We have our clearly defined high at about 126,000. And we have our midpoint right around $90,000. All right, literally where we're at right now, this is our midpoint of the range. This is the support resistance flip going back to last winter. It's the center point of the range right around here. And the fact that we are losing this center point, the fact that we are losing now the high volume node of the last year price action, it does mean if we cannot hold the zone that we're currently at right now, the Fibonacci 618 retracement, we are most likely going to get a fast, quick move down towards $85-ish thousand at our 786 Fibonacci. All right. If we cannot hold the 786 Fibonacci, we're most likely coming down to retest the $74,000 Bitcoin, in which case I would expect that we actually gravitate more toward the $65,000 level, which is in fact, as you can see, the value area high of literally the last entire 4 years of price action, right? So the last 4 years of price, basically the last market cycle, from bull market top to bear market bottom to bull market top, the fair value zone is that $65,000 level. In addition to this, if we go ahead and we pull an anchored VWAP from the low that we made back here in, I think it's 2023. Yeah, we can see that. Hang on, that's not the low. I think it was this low. Yeah, the low. Like if we pull anchored VWAP from literally the low of the bear market, it's going to bring us right to that $65,000 level as well. And not only that, but this is just clearly the support resistance flip that we have from the last all-time high. And if we take a Fibonacci from the 2023 low to the high, it's also going to be our Fibonacci golden pocket retraced right around that zone, right? So again, I'm not saying we're going to come down here, guys, but we have to understand that the market is always going to be trading the sideways range. So the question we should always be asking ourselves as traders is, where's the range? Well, the range used to be this, guys. The range used to be, our low was here. Our low was right around here at, oh, hang on, what the heck is this kind of trend line right here? Hang on. Blue and transparent. Hang on, we need to make it white and thick. The low of the range used to be $98,000, right? Clearly defined low, clearly defined high up here. Well, guess what? Now that we've lost this, where's our next clearly defined low? Down here. Now this is going to be our sideways range, right? So now we look for a move down to the bottom of this sideways range. Now the bottom of this sideways range, in my opinion, does include this whole zone of support right here, all right? I know it's a big zone, but imagine something like this, okay? Again, remember, we're just looking at market structure here as Bitcoin is dumping like crazy, like a wild lady in distress, running through the wilderness with a laundry basket on her head. As we look at the short trade, we are tapping into the 6 point. This is very key, guys, right now. This level must hold. Come on, baby, this level must hold. This level must hold. This orange line must hold. We must hold. Bitcoin must hold. Come on, Bitcoin. I want you guys to look at this and just think to yourself, what actually would this look like if something like this happened? What would we all say about it? We'd say this looks extremely bullish. We'd say we have a support resistance flip. We had a nice breakout. We came down, we took the liquidity, we formed a bullish deviation below the range. We broke back inside the range, and now we expect to move back to the top of the range, right? So yeah, it's a pretty big zone. We don't know exactly what's gonna happen here. I doubt we get a wick down and fast bounce up. We probably get a wick down, chill out for a little bit, form a little bit of a rounded bottom, form a little bit of a range. A little bit of a day trading range down here for some weeks, right? It's very possible before move to the upside, right? But yeah, that we would be looking for prices under 75,000. Now, in a very worst case scenario, worst case scenario, I'd say, well, in that case, we'd be looking at our macro fib pulls from the low to the high. And I'd say, well, we could be looking below the $50,000 Bitcoin level, coming down below these lows. And I'll be honest with you guys, personally for me, all right? And this might be stupid or it might be smart. We won't know until next year. It's either retarded or genius. But here's the thing. I personally don't plan to buy any Bitcoin on spot until we lose $50,000. That's not true. I might buy a little bit if we lose 70K. But if we lose 50K, I'm gonna really start moving some money into Bitcoin. All right. But yeah, if we're not going to hold our $65,000 level, Well, I'd say most likely we come below our golden pocket, as we do every single bear market. The golden pocket never holds in the bear market, never. All right. So that is what I'm currently looking at right now with Bitcoin. If we go down to lower time frames, we're going to put on market cipher B. One good thing, one bullish thing here is that we are starting to see bearish momentum slow down. We are finally starting to see the yellow oscillator on market cipher B start to point up toward the zero line. What does this mean? It means relief is coming soon, guys. And don't get me wrong, I'm very bearish right now based on the weekly market structure change, but we are going to see relief. We are going to see pumps. There's going to be plenty of opportunity to long Bitcoin. We're going to be bullish again in a matter of time. It only takes one day to change the dang crypto market sentiment, doesn't it? Just takes one green candle. This weekly oscillator pointing up is going to give us some relief soon. We go to the daily. The daily is starting to give us a nice bottom here. We start to get a daily green dot. Right? We could see some nice move to the upside. The 12-hour currently giving us bullish divergence. We see bullish divergence forming on these high time frames here, guys. As the price is getting lower, momentum is getting higher. The 6-hour time frame also giving us bullish divergence. Does money flow look like crap? Yes. But you have to understand, price doesn't usually go straight down or straight up. And remember, the context of this market right now is we're coming down to very major areas of support. Fear in the index. The crypto fear and greed index is very low. So when you're very low on the fear and greed, people are very scared. We're grinding down to major supports. Keep an eye on the slowing bearish momentum here, guys, because we're going to get some kind of relief. All right. When the relief comes, people are going to be like, we're so back, we're so back, we're so back. Understand, we might be back, right? There's a really good chance that, let's say that this area holds, all right? This is in general the support. If this area holds, we could see a very fast move back to around 111 to 113,000. The Fibonacci golden pocket retracement for a bearish backtest. We come right up. We basically hit into the point of control of the range. Make another lower high. People are going to be really bullish. We're back above 100K. That's bullish, right? We do something like this. We're changing market structure. We just made a higher high on the daily again. We're so back. We're so back. Boom, right? Just be aware of this. But do not get too fearful as the price is coming down to major support. Just a caution against shorting the bottom. Now, a quick little story here. The market is like a drug dealer, all right? The drug dealer, they give you the drugs the first time for free. Hey, man, I'm here to buy some marijuana. And your drug dealer's like, you ever tried cocaine? At least that's the way it happens in the health videos in middle school. The drug dealer's like, hey, man, I know you've been smoking your marijuana, your Mary Jane, but have you ever tried this other stuff called cocaine? Looking for a stronger high? All right, so the market's like, I know you've been buying Bitcoin on spot. You ever tried leverage? Looking for a stronger high? All right, so the first time you short the bottom, the market maker's you're gonna triple your account. First shot. Man, it's gonna be the best high you've ever had. Shorting the bottom, 100x, full account, tripling your dang portfolio in a day. And you think to yourself, man, that was great. I can't wait to try that again. And maybe your drug dealer, who's the market maker, gives it to you a second time for free. Short the bottom again. Ooh, made even more money, baby. Turn 10 grand into 200K. All right. But now what's going to happen is market maker is going to make you pay. All right. Liquidation after liquidation, shorting the bottom, chasing price until you have nothing left. And you're stealing from your mom's purse, just like the health movie said in 7th grade was going to happen if you smoked marijuana. Just so that you can high leverage short the bottom again. All right. You don't want to be that guy. All right. This is not gambling. This is trading. And as traders, we need to have the self-control to say, if I don't see a good setup here or a good reason to take a short here, I need to sit on my dang hands because we are coming to support. And I know that one of these days, support's going to bounce. And if I get stupid here, and if I get greedy here, and if I get fearful here, I'm going to lose everything. Because the market maker, just like your drug dealer, he don't care about you. All right? He don't care about you. Now, could there be a short trade to have here? Yeah. I'd say there could be some short trades to have here, right? We're at key support. So again, if we lose the support, for example, let's take a look at this, right? we have the value area low. If tomorrow we come down like this into the box, right? And then we come back up here and we reject again, well, that does give us a valid short trade because we're rejecting from what used to be support. Now we're rejecting from resistance, right? But when we're at the support, be very cautious, right? Similar to this Bitcoin trade here, right? Now this trade, obviously, I added to it. I took it up here. I took the trade up here. And I gave the setup in real time in the Casper Crew VIP Discord when I shorted $106,000 at jasoncaspertrading.com to join the community. But look at this. When we back tested what used to be support, right? This level used to be support. It was support on October 10th. Support. We lost it. We back tested. For me, that's a good enough reason to add to the trade there. Why? Well, it used to be support. Now it's resistance, right? So wait for confirmation. Bitcoin right now, under 93,000. We are struggling. We are trying to get a move back above 92,950. If we can reclaim 92,950, well, that is a bullish reaction. Remember, we have just liquidated just below 92.8. We had $65 million of liquidations. We are currently trying to get the move back to the upside here. Let's go to good old Market Monkey order flow and see what's happening right now in real time. Wow. Oh my goodness gracious. Mamma mia, Papa Pia. Oh, Mamma mia, Papa Pia. We saw some people along and then they get the recta. Look at this. This is called flopping and groping. Longs open, longs close. Longs open, they're still open. Uh-oh. We are seeing a steady stream of shorts opening up here, however. 8.9 million shorts in this candle. Another 8 million shorts right here in this candle. We're seeing millions of shorts. Another 8 million shorts opening up here. So we've got like 24 million shorts shorting the bottom here. We do have some longs, but nowhere near as many longs as shorts. So here's the deal, guys. Yeah, this is key. We've just liquidated many longs, and now we're trying to see if we can reclaim this level. We're gonna have millions of shorts underwater. Could lead to a bit of a squeeze. Let's see. Let's come back to the chart. Remember, what do we need to do? We need to reclaim 92,950. We need to reclaim 92,950, baby. Make sure to like the dang stream. We have a CME gap at 92. We will take a look at the CME gap at 92. Shout out to Eddie. He says, I mean, this is just begging to be short squeeze. I know. This is begging to be short squeeze. Once we reclaim that level, we could get a big squeeze. ICP is exploding. Says user. What website is this? This is Market Monkey. It's my new order flow software. Link in the description. Shout out to Santino, who's going to Italy tomorrow. May the Lord bless your travels. Shares or millions of shorts? Millions of shorts, bro, not shares. Right? This ain't no stock market. Isn't it funny how bears are short and bulls are long? My girls said it's always that way. I think there's a joke in there, but I don't quite understand it. You know, I'm too stupid for that. Shout out to Liquidate Shorts. Major shout out to Liquidate Shorts. He says, let me handle this. All right, guys. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Let's see if we can't see some kind of... Wow, look at... Here we go, baby. Let's see. Here we go, baby. Let's see. I think this could lead to something good. Let's go to our 15-minute, our 5-minute. Let's take a look at this 5-minute candale right here. Can our 5-minute candale get a close above? Let's see. We want to see the 5-minute 5 minuto. Los candales de las 5 minutos, señor. Los candales de los 5 minutos. Oh, man. All right, let's see. Jay isn't a bull div for me on the weekly. Yes, a hidden bull div on the weekly. Like I was just saying, when the relief comes, it's going to come hard, baby. It's going to come hard and fast. People are not going to be aware of it. Shout out to Bullish on Parade, 88888.88 with the Chinese flag. That's what's up, man. That is what's up. Yeah, we do technically have a div on. Wow, this is looking like a nice 5-minute candle here. All right, let's see if we can close the candle. If we can close the candle. We've got a little bit more time. Let's see. This is the value area low. This is the key support, guys. This is the make it or break it zone. My goodness. 6 hour looking like poo, but the 1 hour, let me tell you what she wants to do on the 1 hour. 1 hour. I'm gonna take you to the trading scoop. The 1 hour is looking kind of nice, honestly. It is looking kind of nice. 1 hour is looking kind of nice. Very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Let's see what happens here, guys. This could be. This could be. This could be. Let's see. 24-minute money flow looking all right. Let's see. This is either going to be it or we fall right through, man. Oh, man. Let's see. Let's see. Come on. Come on. I'm scared to sing the pump song, guys, because if I sing the pump song, I think we're going to dump right through the level. All bass and no treble to dump right through the level. Let's take a look at ETH while we're waiting to see what Bitcoin wants to do. ETH right now, you know, ETH not taking the lows. Again, ETH on the weekly. Let's not forget ETH on the weekly, all right? ETH on the weekly, we are coming down to major support. The $3,000 level. Let's see, did ETH take $3,000? Yes, we did. You know, this could be, guys, this could be the start of something large. Okay, this could be the start of something large. I'm not saying it is. Trust me, I'm not saying it is. It could be. Let me tell you why it could be. Please don't misunderstand me, guys. I'm literally in 3 Bitcoin shorts right now, and I'm expecting lower prices eventually, but I'm looking for a relief rally. Now, let me tell you why. This could be something big, all right? This is a very key level, the $3,000 psychological level. The fact that we've taken this out now and we're coming down to this support resistance flip, which, you know, if we drag this across, this is objectively speaking very, very, very important support. We have officially now closed bearish market structure on the weekly for ETH as well. All right, so we've made now our first lower low and we've closed it on the weekly. Okay, so keep that in mind. Bearish market structure confirmed on the weekly. What does this mean? Well, it means our lower low is confirmed. Now we can look for a lower high. We could see ETH come back up to test $4,000 if this zone holds. And then we could still stay bearish and eventually make our way back down to the bottom of the range where we have support, 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 flipped into resistance, flipped into support. Or maybe we have a surprise bull market, right? Maybe. But I'm saying this is definitely a very key zone to be looking at here. A very key zone to be looking at. I say if this thing can hold, we might have a bullish rest of 2025. Same with Bitcoin. Do I think we're heading into a big bull market? I don't, based on the high time frames. I think we need to cool off a little bit more. I think we need to range or dump a little bit more here. But ETH on the weekly, looking pretty nice. And remember, though, I also do want to say this, okay? Again, this is not a reason to take a trade or anything, but we are seeing big money, big people in the industry, putting millions of dollars into ETH at these prices, all right? So, I don't know, right? This, and objectively speaking now, this weekly close on Bitcoin and ETH looks terrible because we have officially now made lower lows for ETH and for Bitcoin. And this is why I would be looking for relief rallies and lower highs to continue to the downside. Doesn't mean it has to happen that way, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised now if we just see like the back test of this, right? And then come back down, right? It would just be very nice. We have resistance, 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 support, support, flip into resistance. We come for the bearish back test, golden pocket, support, resistance, flip. We change bearish structure on the weekly. So we look for that lower high, and then we look for a drop down toward the low of the range, which sadly is going to be around 2100. All right. Let's see. Bitcoin really struggling here to reclaim. Not a good look. Not a good look. Not a good look. Not a good look. Not a great look here. We're getting a we need to close some candles above this level 22,953 on WEEX. All right, let's go take a look real quick at Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so, you know, Bitcoin dominance is breaking down from this. We've been looking at it for a long time, this channel. And I would say this would be bullish if the whole market wasn't dumping. If the whole market wasn't dumping, this would be bullish. But the fact that the whole market is dumping, this is not necessarily bullish. But this is just saying right now money is coming out of crypto in general. Let's compare it to altcoin dominance. Right? We always got to compare Bitcoin and altcoin dominance. Yeah, so total market cap is down today. There's nothing altcoin seasoning about this at all. We're not looking at gains coming in for altcoins or Bitcoin right now. Everything is just totally taking a tank. Taking a tank and a dump. A dump and a tank and a tank and a dump. Bitcoin price is in a big slump. Let's see. I'm going to go to the Bitcoin chart. Hang on, I just got to make sure my other monitor is showing me the Bitcoin chart while we're looking at other assets here. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at. Let's take a quick look at. I want to take a quick look at gold. See what gold is doing, because gold is important. Consolidation within this triangle. Interesting. Very interesting for gold here. Very interesting. We've got gold consolidating in this symmetrical triangle right here. Let's go ahead and pull our Fibonacci from the low to the high. You know, if this thing is going to break out bullishly, I'd say a move back down to back test the $4,000 level could be our bullish break on gold. Let's go ahead and pull it from the high to the low. Rejecting from the Fibonacci. Yeah, I'd be looking for a bounce from here at $4,000 to either continue trading in the triangle, right? The next gold support we have is $4,000 at the trend line. We either come up to around here to continue the triangle, or we break out of the triangle. Either way, the next trade to be had on gold is around $4,000. I want to take a look at the S&P 500 here. So we are pretty bearish on the day, guys. Stocks are bearish. Bitcoin is bearish. Stocks are bearish. Bitcoin is bearish. Stocks are bearish. Let's check out NASDAQ, also bearish. We tried to take the liquidity on NASDAQ yesterday. Obviously, we've just made a lower high. Nothing too crazy. Chainlink, bearish on the day. Everything looks bearish on the day. Let's see XRP. XRP, we had a little bit of bullishness last week because of the ETF launch on Thursday, November 13th. Obviously now we know that the money is coming out of there. All right, so the XRP ETF is basically, we're seeing all the big money exit, which is really bad in general for XRP. And we're seeing it come back down toward this key support of $2. And man, I think we could see XRP come back down to $1.60 if we can't hold $2. That's just our next big support. That is our next level if we are trading the sideways range. October 10th wick here, because, well, I don't think that would count. I don't think that would count. Make sure to smash up the like. We do have about one. We don't have. Bet. And big. Oh, wait. What gap are we talking about? Let's go to the actual CME chart. Oh, I see. Okay, so we have a CME gap here that will be closed at around 92-ish. Okay. Yeah, we could see a move back down to fill that CME gap. Absolutely could see a move back down to fill the CME gap. And that could be a place we bounce from. Now, there is a pattern that Bitcoin loves to do, which is break down from the wedge and then pump, right? We see it all the time. We see it literally all the time with Bitcoin. We have ourselves a wedge, right? Depending on how you want to draw it. I remember this one. We had something like this. We break down from the wedge and then we pump. Where else do we see it? We see it all the time for Bitcoin. I don't think this was one. No, this was definitely not one. But it is a pattern we see quite often on Bitcoin. I think the last big famous one was the bear market bottom, right? The last big famous falling wedge breakdown was the bear market bottom. We have the wedge forming, right? We literally break down, we hold there for a while, and then that leads to the big pump. Oh, here's another one. Classic, right? Classic falling wedge pattern. And we break down, and then we pump. Bitcoin loves to do that. Let's see, was this one here? Got the falling wedge, maybe. Let's check out the wedge. This one was technically, no, we just formed a wedge, and then we broke out. So, yeah, we just, this was not a fake out wedge. But yeah, it could be. We've got the CME gap down there. All right, let's see what's happening right now in real time for Bitcoin. We're going to go back to the order flow. And what do we have here? We have Bitcoin trying to form a bottom here, right? We're trying to form a bottom here. We're trying to form a bit of a bottom. We've got a lot of shorts that have opened up here, right? We've got like 24 million shorts opening up here. We've got a few, like 1.5 million longs trying to go against all those shorts. It's really not looking the best. We need to get a quick follow through here. If we get some quick follow through, we will start to squeeze shorts through the wazoo. If you've never squeezed a short through the wazoo before, then I guess you really don't understand what it's like to squeeze a short through the wazoo. But let me tell you, it's an experience, all right? No sound. Huh, how about now? Is the mic good now? Oh crap, hang on, give me 1 second here. Check one, check. Check one, check. How's it going? Okay, we're back, baby. You long soul? Well, look, if you have a plan for whatever, all right, for any trade, then it's a good trade. Is the 1 minute looking bullish? Let's check it out. Yeah, the 1 minute does look bullish here. Like, it does. Let's see if this 1 minute's gonna help it. I mean, honestly, the 1 hour look could be bullish here. The 24 minute could be bullish here. We've got momentum coming higher. We've got money flow coming higher. The 12 minute could be bullish here, right? We've got Money flow coming higher from the last low. We've got momentum, local bullish divergences here. You know, this could be something. I don't like how slow it's taken here. You would want faster follow through than this. We haven't even reclaimed that level yet, so it's really not looking the best. The fact that we can't reclaim the level is really not looking good. Okay, it's not looking the best here. You know, we really would have wanted to see us hold that level. So we're trying to form a bottom here, but so far we're unable to do it. So let's see. We have to wait and see what's she gonna be. Could be, but needs to hold. A lot of time frames do look bullish. I feel like maybe another drip down to that CME Gapperoni. Maybe. We'll have to wait. Looks like we're gonna go for it. Looks like we're gonna go for it, man. Is 88K next? Yeah, so we got to give some shout outs to our super chats. First of all, Marcuso wants the pump song. We need to wait for something actually to happen here. Ideal cocaine and cocaine accessories, is that true? Please don't get arrested. All I do is DCA and never sell Bitcoin. Should I be learning trading? Well, Isaac Newton 98, I'd say if you're happy doing that, then there's really no reason to learn trading unless you want added stress in your life. And no, look, unless you're passionate about trading, then I wouldn't do it, right? Trading is something you have to be passionate about. You have to be passionate about it. You have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy the process. You have to enjoy the analysis. You have to love doing it. If you DCA into Bitcoin, I mean, you're in a great position, man. Like, just in general, Bitcoin is a bullish asset. Learn how to trade if you enjoy trading, right? Maybe start to learn. If you think, you know, this is something I would like to do, then get into it, right? But if you're a DCA never seller, I mean, hopefully you have a goal for your DCAing and not selling, which is maybe to get in at, get out at higher prices when you retire or whatever. But yeah, there's never anything wrong with learning, right? And if you like it, go for it. Shout out to Eddie, 1 minute bull divs. Yeah, I mean, let's see, we're about to make another lower low here. All right, so let's see what happens here. The 1 minute is starting to look less and less bullish as we speak. As we speak, 1 minute is starting to look less and less bullish. So let's see what happens here. Let's see. Man, oh man. Let's see what happens here. This is we're back down at the 0.65. We're coming down. It's so interesting. On KCEX, this is the 4 hour. Let's go to the 5 minute. KCEX is lower than Bybit right now. Quite interesting. We've got exchange discrepancies coming on in here. The 5 minute chart. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. $90K must hold for sure, for sure. Mosquitoes like Ramo 5150. I hate trading. I'm just praying for the 4 year cycle to continue so I can buy low and sell within 20% of the top. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You know, for a lot of people, myself included, there is comfort in the bull bear market cycle. I mean, it is quite easy to make money in the bear bull market cycle, right? For me, that's why I don't plan on buying any spot Bitcoin until under 50K. Under 70K, I'll dip my toe in. Under 50K, I'm in. Under 40K, I'm aggressively in. And then I'll be selling again, starting at around $120,000, which is going to be crazy. But I did start selling my Bitcoin at $60,000 this bull cycle. I sold at 60, 80, 100, and 120. And I don't regret any of that. I do not regret any of that. And obviously, I will never completely sell all my spot Bitcoin, right? I will never completely sell all my spot Bitcoin. All right, looks like we're breaking down again here. Man, oh man, we are breaking down again, guys. All right, so we're gonna have to wait this one out now because the chance of this being our bounce, I'd say, is we either need to wait to reclaim it, or we expect a little bit lower. So where would we expect this time, guys? Well, we do have the CME gap at 90,000. So let's go to our CME. Let's see where that gap is here. We have it marked out 91,985 on the CME with the wick, and we have the body close right here. So this is the gap that we're in on the CME that we have. I mean, not that we're in, the gap that we're in, that we have. Man, Jay Casper can't get his words straight here. Alrighty. So let's see what happens here. Let's see, we're entering into the gap. Actually, we're about to hit into the tip of the gap, right? So the gap begins here with the wick. So let's see, this is the gap. We just wicked into the gap. Let's go to the 24-minute here. We're wicking into the gap, wicking into the gap. Wikipedia into the gap, baby. All right, so this is the gap. We're wicking into the gap. We could get a fast fill of the gap. Let's see if we get a fast fill of the gap. Fast fill of the gap, my old chap. We've got a fast fill of the gap, my old chap. We're coming on down, filling up the gap, my old chap. Let's check out the order flow. My goodness, we've got another 3.4 million shorts opening up right here. My goodness. This is bearish in general. I mean, we got big money. Big money is bearish. But here's the thing. Whenever you have big bearish money, pushing price down like this, and it's a slow grind like it is, man, we get a quick and fast and powerful squeeze, baby. A quick, fast, powerful squeeze. Let me give you some extra cheese. Put it on my knees, baby, please, baby, please. You know? We're in the gap now, so probabilities are that we continue to fill. Unless we reclaim 92, I mean this last low, unless we really do reclaim this last low from the weekend, down is the way. Down is the way, baby. Speculation here. Hedge funds has Bitcoin by the balls. Slams it down past 15 to make a macro ABC structure. It would be max pain, and it would be a real great way to wreck everybody. I mean, look, so let's discuss that speculation for a second, man. Because I do have to say, all right, hear me out, okay? Look, remember guys, we're speculating. So here's the thing, okay? We're speculating, we're just playing a big what if here, okay? We're just playing a big what if, all right? Just a big what if. Right? Let's pretend that this was like a 5-minute chart, right? Let's pretend that this was a 5-minute chart. Just for example, right? We have this ascending channel on the 5-minute chart. Again, guys, look, a big what if, okay? I can already see you guys with your thumbs down buttons. Sheesh. You know, it's a sign of an educated mind to entertain an idea without accepting it. It's a sign of an uneducated mind to get angry and like thumbs down the video when you get scared. All right, sign of it. Don't be uneducated. But if this was like the 5-minute chart here, okay, shout out to the thumbs downers. It's okay, I'm not educated either. I'm a high school dropout. If this was the 5-minute chart, we would say, you know what? Why don't we just take all the liquidity that we've been building up here, take the lows, and bounce from the support resistance flip that we have right here, and then get a nice bounce to trade the sideways range. Yeah, I feel what you're saying. Like, yeah, I mean, you know, look, it's not funny. It's not funny in any way, shape, or form. However, is it possible? I mean, if institutions have Bitcoin by the testicles, as you say, and they very well may. You know, we're seeing governments buy Bitcoin. We're seeing BlackRock buy Bitcoin. I mean, when BlackRock has their paws straight on the testicles of Bitcoin, they have the ability to twist and grab and kind of move the Bitcoin where they want it to go. All right. So, you know, this bull market looks very different than others. We have never seen a bull market in this strange ascending channel like this before. So, yeah, this is an idea, hypothetical, that is interesting, an interesting hypothetical. I mean, if this were to happen, guys, we would be seeing things like Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, like, declaring bankruptcy and, like, crazy stuff. Just the kind of stuff you would need to send Bitcoin even, like, lower like that. Yeah, I mean, could be crazy. Could be crazy. But, man, it's something I was thinking about it before, too. Like, in general, like, let's even flip the chart upside down here, right? Okay, so if this is a falling wedge, again, guys, hypothetical, okay? If this is a falling wedge that we're breaking out of right now, the target would be the top of the wedge, right? The target would be the top of the wedge. And we do have very bullish divergences here, all right? Man, can you imagine? Can you even imagine what that would do to people? My goodness, that would be just like big money and institutions like BlackRock. That would be just like them to screw over everybody. I would lose millions of dollars. Like, my portfolio value would go down millions and millions and millions of dollars. Oh my goodness, that would be insane. That would be so crazy. Let's see, what percentage drop would that be? 87%. You know, funny enough, we saw 87% drops before, right? In Bitcoin. And they say it's never going to happen again. Maybe the whole never again narrative. I mean, hear me out here. Again, guys, look, remember, we're just speculating here, but you know the whole never again because of institution, because of BlackRock, never again. All right. We had an 84% drop in 2018. Now, I know what you're saying. It can't happen now. There's too much money. Okay, I agree. There's too much money. Institutions, BlackRock, Trump. I know. I agree. It can't happen. But what if it does, right? It is something that we just need to, you know. Look, I'm not saying it's going to happen, guys. But it is interesting to entertain such possibilities, right? This would be, I mean, if that did happen, man, this would be such an opportunity. This would be such an opportunity. Now, hear me out here again, okay? Let's just take this a little bit further. You have assets like Ethereum, okay, who have not even left the range. All right, this is the bear and bull market range of ETH. This is a bear and bull cycle for ETH. ETH is trading this sideways range here. All right, ETH has literally come from the bottom to the top, to almost the bottom, back to the top. Can we come back to the bottom and to the top before eventually breaking out? If all these altcoins are trading in these sideways ranges during the bear and bull, then what's going to keep Bitcoin from coming back down to the bottom of its sideways range, bear and bull? BlackRock? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We're seeing millions and billions of dollars pour into Bitcoin. It could never happen. It could never happen. It could never happen, right? Right? Could it happen? Let's take a poll. Could it happen? All right. So the poll says, will Bitcoin go down below 72? It's 50-50. Let's take another poll. Could it happen? Is 15K possible? Is 15K Bitcoin possible? Let's see. Yes or no? What do you guys say? I'm very curious, actually. I'm super dang curious to see what you guys have to say. There's a CME gap at 21K. Grab Bitcoin on the flash below 90. The gap will fill. Yeah, I'm expecting some relief from this support for sure. For sure. Let's see what you guys say in the poll here. Wow. So it is like, it is more say yes than no. That is so interesting, guys. People will troll on this poll. Be honest in the poll, guys. Don't troll. Only a huge black swan. BlackRock wants complete domination of every asset. I totally see it, says Alec Louisiana 522. Can't we just say this is the real bear trap, the real one? This one right now, or the hypothetical, the hypothetical one? All right, enough of this, guys. Enough of this. But let's screenshot this just in case. All right, just in case we can screenshot this. So we can say, man, we hoped not, but it did happen. You know? Enough of that, guys. Whew, man, scary just thinking about it. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Oh. Oh no. Scary just thinking about it. Alright, let's see here. Man, not looking good though on the 1 hour. We have 21 minutes until this 1 hourly candle closed bearish, and I'd say we're gonna go for the CME gap here. All right, the gap, the top of the gap will be filled at 91.9 and the bottom at 91.660. 91.660. What will happen to crypto in a 10-year bull market? Is there any egg code? Yes, there is an egg code today, guys. The egg code is carrot. Carrot. I'll post it in the chat here. Carrot. All right, carrot. Let's put it in the chat here. Here's the egg code. Guys, if you don't know what eggs are, in the Discord, you can redeem eggs for cash prizes. Today, we just gave away $350. We give away $350 every week. Every month, we give away thousands of dollars. We give away VIP memberships. And basically, the way you do it is you join the Discord. It could be the free Discord or the paid Discord. It doesn't matter, but you're going to go to this channel called Quests. All right, let's check it out. Go to the Discord channel called Quests, channel called Quests, and you go ahead and click the Klein button and type in carrot, C-A-R-R-O-T, I think is how you spell carrot. Click submit, and you get yourself, if you're not in the VIP, you get 1 egg. If you're in the VIP, you get 5 eggs. All right, and these can be redeemed for prizes. All right, so we have our winners from today, $50, $100, $200 giveaway. Every single month we do games where we're giving away thousands of dollars, free memberships, and eggs. All right, we got a lot of cool stuff going on in here where we play games during the week to get eggs in voice channel and all this kind of stuff. All right, so make sure to check it out, guys. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. We've got all our winners in here. These are all the winners so far. We just look at all this, man. All these people winning all this money in the Discord. All right. Also, guys, quick reminder, KCEX, link in the description, lowest fees. BLOFIN and WEEX, also low fees. If you want to join the Casper crew, JasonCasperTrading.com. And also, guys, a big quick reminder that if you know how to trade but you have no money, I'm partnered with Klein. They're a crypto prop firm that runs on Bybit. No KYC needed, just a VPN. You can get an instant funded account, $50,000 account. For $1,000, I have a 15% discount. If you want to pass the step, I have 25% discounts. You could trade with a $200,000 account for less than $500, 40% profit split. Obviously, you can make that as high as you want. So you know, for like about $1,000 or so, a little bit more. 90% profit split, 6% max drawdown, all that kind of stuff. You can change your max drawdown. This is not for swing traders, by the way, guys. Okay, because if you're using leverage, you can only have a 14% drawdown, right? So this is more for swing traders or day traders. This is not for scalpers. All right, it's very, I'm sorry, this is for scalpers. This is not for swing traders. This is for scalpers and day traders, because you need to be trading with, you know, small invalidations so that you don't end up going below the drawdown, right? But if you know how to day trade and you have no money, this is actually a great opportunity. It's a great platform. They're really good. Customer service is good. Every issue there's ever been with this has been resolved to my knowledge. If there's a problem, reach out. We have representatives in the Discord. So we always have a contact with Klein. Shout out to Klein. And shout out to Bitcoin. Really feeling the struggles here. Trying to get that candle pump. Let's go back to KCEX. What's she going to do next? Come on to KCEX. What's she going to do next? Can she get the reclaim? She is struggling hard right now on the reclaim. Wow, oh wow. My oh my. If you know how to day trade, why the hell won't you have money? That's weird. Look, man, everyone's in a different kind of situation. All right? There's a lot of people who have been learning how to trade. They can do really well, but they only have a couple $100, right? A couple $100 capital, couple $1,000 capital. If you know how to trade, trading on a prop firm is actually a pretty good idea, because now you're trading with a $200,000 account of not your own money, and you get money to add to your actual account, right? So it's a different strategy for people that don't want to sit there and build an account up over time. It does take time to build up an account. It does take time, especially if you're trading with good risk management, right? It can take some time. So the skill of trading. All right, so look, so we have a chat spammer, but let's check out ICP. Everyone's talking about ICP. Not everyone, but the one loud person's talking about it. And whoever's the loudest in the room, I guess, is the one that gets heard, right? Just kidding. But in this case, yeah, that is true. ICP pumping like a wild lady flying through space. Bouncing from the POC of the range. Look at this, guys. Okay. This is the box that we were literally looking at since up here, saying this is the place to get in ICP. And what do you know? What do you know, guys? We come down to the box and we bounce right from the dang POC golden pocket. Isn't that not crazy? And they say technical analysis doesn't work. Yeah, so ICP is bouncing from support. It's the box that we've had on the chart since the 8th of November. So, yeah, this is a very key support. I'd say, technically speaking, we could see a $12 ICP. You know, technically speaking, we could see it. All right. All right. Bitcoin's trying to get a reclaim right here. Very interesting. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can. Come on, Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Bitcoinato. Los Bitcoines. Put a little alert there. Just in case. Just in case. Let's go to our 24-minute. All right, we got some more super chats in the house. Shout out to John Ploney. He's looking at Aster. Where's my Bitcoin TP for the short? 65K on the swing short. Where can you find the music playlist? It's on Epidemic Sound. It's just some stupid playlist I made here on Epidemic Sound. I don't know where else to find it. But yeah, I kind of like these. I like these beats a little bit. You know. Okay, Bitcoin's getting a little bit of a move here. Look at this. We're trying to get that reclaim. All right. Come on, Bitcoin. Can we get the reclaim? It looks pretty good on some time frames, man. It looks pretty good on some time frames. What's weird is the sound of this actually sounds really strange. What is going on with this? Here we go. Is there something wrong? No. Maybe it's my headphones. Oh yes, my headphones are messed up. Yeah. Low volume on this pump. I mean, this isn't necessarily a pump quite yet. 11 minutes on this hourly. You guys hear a screech again? Do I ever ladder into positions? Yeah, I do. I do sometimes, actually. I actually do sometimes ladder into positions, baby. I do ladder into positions. Alrighty. Shout out to Not Quicker. Guys, I do have to head out, sadly. I wish I could stay all day. Honestly, I do. I wish I could stay all day, but I've got to be on kid duty so that my wife can have a break. So God bless you guys in Jesus' name. I do pray y'all are super blessed. Lord willing, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Peace.